up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. We'll go back and listen to y'all. Good day. Life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Hey. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, yo. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, really gonna rap this time. Girl, how's that what you wanna be? Step forward. Everybody just do your thing. All right, y'all. That was the beginning. I'm supposed to be in the office, so I know many people expect that I'm not going to be here today because I normally go to the office on Tuesday and Wednesday. But this week I've had it's been mentally draining. All right, although I did make it into the office yesterday. I decided there was two reasons why I couldn't make it into the office today. One reason is because I have an 8:45 meeting and I didn't think I would be able to get up early enough to get to work in time to have this meeting. And so I decided, let me just do the meeting at home. Two, I'm tired. So I decided that I'm going to stay home and chill. And so with that, I decided to do Coffee with Friends today. Hey, Mika Norris, but I have to cut the show short. Work is just getting in the way. Life is just life. And I always said, if I can ever get myself in a position, good morning, Mika Norris. If I can ever get myself in a position to not have to rely or depend on my corporate job, I wonder what that feels like. Good morning, Georgie. I wonder what it feels like to have a job, have your corporate job or whatever job you have, right? And not need it, right? I want to have that feeling, right? That's the feeling that I want to have one day. Have a job, appreciate the job, but motherfuckers, I don't need this shit. I don't have to put up with this shit. I want to know what that feels like. Okay. And so those are the types of things that I'm manifesting. But until then, it is what it is, right? And so I have an 8:45 meeting this morning. And so I'm going to get into the show as quickly as I can. But even though I say that, I'm going to bullshit a little bit. One of the things that I was reminded, my coworkers, before I even get into that, let me just say this. Prayers for the families in Tennessee who had to deal with such a tragic and is dealing with a tragic incident, right? These school shootings, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. I know the first thing people scream is gun reform, but gun reform is not going to stop people from getting guns and doing stupid shit, right? It's just going to make it hard for the people who are following the laws. It's going to affect their rights, mainly. That's my opinion, though, right? And so I do want to send my prayers out. And I know that although this happened in Tennessee, stories like this, when it happens, it affects people everywhere, right? It affects parents everywhere. It affects teachers everywhere. It affects everyone everywhere because everyone starts to think, what if that was my school? What if that was my child? What if that was my mom? What if that was my sister, uncle, father, right? And so I just want to say, I don't know, the world is crazy, but I truly also believe, people say the world is crazy. and what's happening. You know, things are out of control. They've never seen things like this before. But is that true? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true, right? Because I can't speak for the things that might have occurred before I was born. But I do think the difference here is that with social media, we no longer have a reliance to go to the corner store and buy a newspaper and see what's in the newspaper and read from front to back to see what's going on. You have millions of people reposting events that are happening on an everyday basis, every minute basis, second by second basis on all these social media platforms, right? And it just, to me, it seems like the stories are just thrown in our face, right? You know, so close and personal, we can't avoid seeing it, right? So sometimes I say, you know, has the world changed? Are things worse than before? Or do we just have more transparency into the things that's happening? I don't know. I don't know, but I pray for us, okay? I do, because what the fuck? You know? So that takes me to yesterday. I was so glad I went into the office because, the pandemic came in and a lot of us worked from home. And I haven't seen a lot of my coworkers in a couple of years, 2, 3 years, right? And so yesterday, a coworker that I hadn't seen in a while, it hasn't been a year because I did go out to dinner with them. So maybe 6+ months I hadn't seen him, but I hadn't seen him in an office space in 2+ years. And so I was glad to see him, and we all went out to lunch, and we were just talking. And this guy, he is so into his health. He's so into his physical and his mental, right? His wife is into yoga and meditation. And so he got into yoga and meditation, and he's been doing it consistently for a little over a year. Hey, yoga girl, Sai. Funny that I said yoga and meditation and she jumped on, right? And he's been doing it over a year. And I remember when we used to go into the office, he used to always be my inspiration, right? For getting in touch with myself, right? And he said, since I've been doing meditation, Robin, he was like, listen, it's not easy, right? But don't judge yourself. It's supposed to be a judgment-free zone. And I told him some of the things that I fight with when I try to meditate. And he says, people think that they have to go into meditation with a blank mind, right? But that's not it, right? Your mind, you're going to have thoughts. The whole premise of meditation is to acknowledge those thoughts, move past those thoughts, and get back to your breathing, right? And so I used to get frustrated when the thoughts interrupted what I thought I was trying to do, meditate. But he said, don't. Just acknowledge the thought, right? And then take it back to your breath. And every time you have a thought, acknowledge the thought and take it back to your breath and continue to do this, right? He said, do it every day. I said to him, I'm going to do it. I got up this morning and fucking forgot. Now, this don't make no damn sense. Now, I need something to remind me that I need to meditate. So at some point, thank you, Yoga Girl Sai, for chiming in on that. Right. And so I'm going to try to do this every day. So I'm challenging you guys to try to do the same thing. Right. And so I know we haven't had a hashtag Fit Friends challenge in a while. And this is not like an official challenge, but this is something just to take 5 minutes out, or even if it's 3 minutes, if that's all you could do. Right. But target 5 minutes out of your day, your morning, when you get up in the morning. Right. I messed up. I still got time to do it today. But, sit with yourself 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes. And he said, even if your mind is busy, just acknowledge those thoughts and get back to your breathing, right? Breathe in, and your breath out should be longer than your breath in, right? And so some people like guided meditation where they're listening to, whether it's music like me, I like to listen to the Om. Some people like word-guided meditation where there's words associated with the meditation. I don't need the words. I can just do the Om, okay? And so, I just love the fact that people, are really, and one of the reasons why he really committed to it is because he said he was tethering on high blood pressure, and he's not one to take medication. And so for him, he does yoga every morning and meditation. And it's been maintaining him. And it's beautiful. I love it. And of course, he eats. He eats right. Good morning, Chef You. So that was my tidbit information for the morning. I'm going to go ahead in and read the positive thought. But, today is question and opinion day, but I threw up there a topic based on the read for today, bottling up your feelings, right? This is just food for thought, or you can answer the question, right? Bottling up your feelings. How difficult, or are you the type of person that finds it hard to have difficult conversations? Are you the type of person that will hold your feelings in, swallow your feelings just so that you don't trigger the next person and cause an uncomfortable conversation, right? Are you one of those people that say, you know what, fuck it, I'm not even going to discuss it, I'm just going to keep it to myself? Are you one of those people that bottle up your feelings, right? Because you think that it's avoiding further confrontation, right? How does this help you? Or how does this hurt you? That is the question that I'm asking. Because, lately I've been noticing, even in my own circle, like people just don't want to have difficult conversations, right? People avoid the difficult conversations, right? And a lot of times it fucks up the relationship with the people, because why? People start to feel some type of way. Think about that. How does avoiding difficult conversations and bottling up your feelings, how does that help you? How does that hurt you? All right. Good morning, Theo. All right. Hey, Chef You, I got you. I'm going to read your response right after I read today's positive thought. So today is March 29th, right? It says, I open my heart and mind to be aware. When I do not open up, I set myself up to blow up. Hey, Johnny Leon Hill. Need I say that again? I open my heart and mind to be aware. When I do not open up, I set myself up to blow up. Keeping things inside does not make them any better. In fact, holding on to secret fears, secret feelings, and secret fears. Holding on to secret fears, secret feelings, and secret fears makes them seem a lot worse than they probably are. When you keep things on the inside, the weight of it all can tear you up, hold you down, push you into situations that do not serve your best interest. Holding on to things can cause all sorts of disease, chemical and emotional imbalance, complete confusion, and plain old despair. When you have a lot going on inside, you find some way to let it out. You can talk about it. You might cry about it. If you are alone, you can shout about it. You can run it out, walk it off, or go to the gym and work it out. You can call a helpline, a hotline, a prayer line, but you must let someone know what's going on inside of you. It is tempting to eat about it, drink about it, or blow up in smoke. You know what that means? It's tempting to eat about it. People who overeat or have emotional eating habits, right? Drink about it. People who drink hit their bar to drink the shit away. People who blow it up in smoke, hitting that marijuana because you just don't want to fucking deal, so you smoke it up. Okay? A better strategy is to write about it. That brings me to Theo. She always tells me to write about it. Good morning, Sherilyn. She always tells me to write about it. I will read all comments. Each of us comes to the point when we must trust someone enough to open ourselves up for review and examination. It's not always easy. It is a challenge to admit or acknowledge your own faults. It is even more difficult to accept that we have made some costly mistakes, poor decisions, and bad choices. For some reason, it seems that we don't want people to know that we are human. Human. But we are. We cannot hide what we feel forever. It is essential to our sense of well-being that we find a way to open up and let someone know what's going on inside. Until today, you may have been holding on to secret thoughts and feelings. You may have been afraid to open yourself to self-examination or outside scrutiny. Just for today, be willing to release those things stored in your heart and mind that are causing you discomfort. Today, I am devoted to opening myself and my heart in order to find relief. Are you? Bottling up your feelings. Why do we do it? Fears, just afraid of judgment. We don't have people in our lives that we feel we trust enough to be able to share our fears and our secret feelings. How does this hurt us? Eventually, we'll feel resentment, we'll blow up, build up, and feed our trauma. Chef Yu said, I am that person that bottles up my feelings. It hurts me. I become resentful and sometimes get physically ill. That's what it says. So, you know, when people get depressed and they start having physical issues, and people that don't understand mental illness will come in and they'll say, oh my God, it's all in your head. Oh my God. No, this is a real thing. People that bottle up their feelings, right? It causes them physical issues, emotional issues. Chef, you just said it makes her physically ill. Okay? Georgie said, I need a Coca-Cola tattoo because I'm a professional feelings bottler. It doesn't help, but sometimes it's hard for me to find my voice. Not so much anymore, but I still struggle. And one of the things, Georgie, right, because we are a family and you posted about it, right? And you post about it often. You talk about eating, right? You talk about eating. You joke about it. This talked about how when we bottle up our feelings, we eat it, we drink it, we smoke it. I've been guilty. I got a whole bar. I have had days where I'll be like, oh my God, I don't want to fucking deal. And I pour some whiskey. Right? And then we sit and we wonder, why do I have an emotional eating problem? Or why am I drinking this much? Right? It could be related to a lot of things, but it could be also related to what are you bottling up? How are you releasing that? How does it hurt you? How does it benefit you to bottle up your feelings? And Johnny said, I think about my feelings before I open my mouth. If I'm upset or offended, I try not to go with my knee-jerk reaction. I try to listen and hear, is there any truth to what they are saying? And if the answer is yes, then I think about my answer and let them know I heard them, but also how they made me feel with how they said it to me. But if it's false, I'll tell them why they are wrong and that I didn't appreciate what and how they spoke to me. I love that. That is very, transparent, right? And delivered nicely, right? And delivered nicely. All right, I put the guest link up there in case anyone wanted to chime in. Hey, Fred. Good morning. For me, I bottle up my feelings a lot, right? That comes from through my healing journey. I realized that that's a product of me being a people pleaser. I feel like I'm at the beach every day, Zen. The fuck? The sun shines on me always. All right. I carry the sand in my footsteps. What? Zen trying to say something about my yoga clothes, y'all. But for me, I feel like it's a product of people pleasing, right? And so people have done things to me, have said things to me, and it has hurt my feelings, and I bottled it up for so long, right? That what ultimately happened is a situation that recently happened to me within these last 3 years where, I just got to a point where I started to feel such resentment. I started to feel such anger that it was affecting me emotionally. I was feeling emotionally abused, right? And so I said to myself, you don't have to deal with this shit, right? I love the person, right? I do. But sometimes, people are dealing with their own stuff or they have their own trauma that they have not yet dealt with. And sometimes that trauma overflows onto the relationship that you're trying to have with them and it becomes unhealthy. And so I had gotten to the point where I couldn't take it no more. And ultimately, I just walked away. Like emotionally walked away, physically walked away, and I grieve, right? But I could not. I was bottling up my feelings. And one of the reasons why I bottled up my feelings is because I didn't trust that person enough to tell them how I felt because I knew based on experience and past instances that they were going to take it the wrong way and it was going to turn ugly. But instead of me dealing with it sooner, I waited until it was affecting me emotionally. And then I just had to, right? A lot of people, we have not figured out how to have healthy conversations. We bottle up our feelings. And then there's the opposite. There's those who, when you have honest conversation, they take offense to what it is you're discussing. And it turns up and blows up into an argument, right? So we have to be able to trust the person that we want to unpack our feelings with. And that's hard these motherfucking days. Because the couple of people that I unpacked a couple of my feelings with, they be ghost after that. And I be like, what? I literally have maybe 3 people in my life, friends wise, not family, friends wise, that I can tell them anything about how I'm feeling. Anything about how I'm feeling, whether it has to do with them or it has to do with me, right? And we will never dissipate the friendship over how we are feeling. We've argued, we've cried, right? But we go on. We have conquered having difficult conversations and not bottling up our feelings because guess what? These people, we trust each other. But not many people out there you could trust to do that with. So we end up bottling up our feelings. How does that hurt us? Looks to Envy said, but is it a bad thing being a people pleaser? I'm a people pleaser too. Well, looks to Envy, it depends, right? I'm not a therapist and I'm not a certified life coach, but for me, it was a bad thing. For me, looks to Envy, I was a people pleaser without boundaries, okay? That might be different for you. I was a people pleaser without boundaries, okay? Meaning I'm doing what they need me to do and they walking the fuck all over me until I became resentful. So it depends. What do y'all think? Is being a people pleaser a bad thing? That looks to Envy's question. Hey, Brandilla. Um, oh, the boys to the yard. They want milkshakes. Hillbilly said, if you do it, you become a better person. If you change the behavior in the other way, they become better. I need more, Hillbilly. What do you mean by that? Cheryl Lee said, journaling is an awesome tool. You know what's so funny about that? Let me tell y'all something real quick. And I got to end the show at 8:45, but let me tell y'all something real quick. When I went to my deposition on Monday to my attorney's office, right? And I'm being deposed by the defense law firm. You know, I have, this is, y'all talk about journaling. I could be anal about some things. You see these papers? You see it has dates on it, right? Dates, events, and these are all the pages, right? This is everything that happened to me with those surgeries. And the funny thing is that when I started my medical, the law firm, the defense law firm asked me what made me journal my medical shit. And I said to him, I said, I was undertaking a possibility of having a full hysterectomy, right? Which, to me was a big deal, right? And so for some reason or another, after the first initial visit that I went on, once I got referred to the surgeon, I started documenting, right? Because now I'm meeting new doctors, right? I'm having a procedure being done on me by a different doctor other than my GYN, because my GYN is a nurse practitioner and she can't perform surgeries, right? And so for some reason I journaled it, right? And then when I came home during my healing process, I transferred it and I typed it, right? And every day during my healing process, every event that occurred, I added to that. It wasn't until a year later, that I contacted a lawyer, right? And that's only because I would take this paper and I would keep reading what happened to me. And I couldn't believe it. I kept scratching my head and I was like, what? And really, I didn't even sit here and think to call a lawyer on my own. I was at work one day and one of my coworkers was like, how are you doing? And I was like, I don't even know. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened to me. This is a year later. She said, you don't have a lawyer? And I was like, no, I can't even think about how to go. Like, I don't even know what happened. Like, I don't even know. I didn't even process getting a lawyer. And she was like, no, baby, you need to talk to somebody about this. Hey, Ghost. And she sits on a board in her township. And the attorney that sits on the board of that township used to be the prosecutor of that town. And so she referred me to him. And I went to him and I just told him my story and I gave him this paper. And so the defense law team was like, you took a journal? Where's the journal? I said, I have it. And then he was like, well, you wrote it after? I said, no, I wrote it before. And they were like, well, what made you? And I was like, I don't know. Something just told me I needed to document this shit. And I did. Okay, thank God I did. And I still, when I read this paper, it still feels like it happened to me yesterday. Good morning, Ghost. Looks to envy. See, people I have met has said, oh, I would never have thought you were a people pleaser. Right? You know what? I don't know, looks to envy. I can see you being a people pleaser. You're sweet in nature. Not that non-people pleasers are not sweet, but I mean, I can see you being a people pleaser. I don't know. Tora in the AFC South said, I've gotten over bottling up my feelings. I let it all out because I'm not ashamed or worried about someone bringing the blowback to me. I just use tact when I do or with sensitive info. It took time to get there. Yes. Everything takes time, right? Especially once we acknowledge that we need to do something better. Johnny said, I can't bottle up my feelings because I won't be able to move forward with our friendship until what I feel is addressed. Whether it gets resolved or not, I still have to share how I feel. And Johnny, that's where I'm at today. This is why I know that my healing journey is working. Because any other time I will bottle up my feelings and be like, nah, nah, nah. But see, I had something happen in these last 3 years where a relationship that meant so fucking much to me dissipated, right? Over partly me bottling up my feelings because I had gotten to the point where I was like, fuck it, I don't care. Because of all the things that I had been feeling and bottling up all this time that never got resolved. So that when it happened to me, a second instance of some stuff started to happen, I'm exactly where you just described, Johnny. I can't bottle up my feelings no more, right? So I'm at the place where if you are my friend, family member, whatever the fuck it is, right? I'm going to let you know how I feel. If you, A, do not acknowledge my feelings, right? B, do not want to discuss it, right? We can't move forward. That's where I'm at today. So when my people, places, and things change, it's because I'm no longer moving forward, brushing my feelings aside. My feelings fucking matter. Your feelings fucking matter. We need to understand this, right? We need to learn to have healthier conversations. And so for that, I'm with you, Johnny, on that. Now, other people might not agree. But if we can't resolve this particular issue, I'm not brushing shit under the carpet no more. Because that's going to take me backwards in my healing process. If we can't resolve it, I can't move on with our friendship. That's it and that's all. No hard feelings. I love you. But if we can't resolve some shit, I got to go. And I love you enough, probably, that if we decide to circle back around, we still got to resolve that issue. We can never go past that issue. That's me now. No longer bottling up my feelings. If I feel I have to bottle up my feelings, that's a red flag that I don't trust your ass. Why are you in my life? Theo said, there is so much to unpack in this topic. Like the general said, it takes work, but doing the work to honor your feelings and expressing them is freeing. How do we do the work? I agree. It's a lot to unpack in this. Good morning, Mother. True Hillbilly and I was both. That's a good one. Hillbilly said, looks to envy, and that's a good one. A people pleaser and an enabler are different things. I definitely was an enabler. I enabled my son all the way up until I was like, fuck this shit. But I didn't know I was an enabler until I knew. And then it was hard to deal in a different space. But that's a great point, Hillbilly. People pleasers and an enabler are different things. I love that. Theo said it comes down to self-worth and honoring yourself first and believing that how you are feeling and voicing those feelings is taking care of you and honoring yourself first. I love that. I know I got a meeting at 8:45, Theo, so I get it. They working me to death. All right. I love it. This topic is going to continue because you're right, Theo. It's a lot to unpack. And I want to understand what I know, Ghost. Two more days, Ghost. He gonna make I was married now. Okay. Hillbilly said relate. Oh, that was from your top. Wait a minute. Let me go out because Hillbilly, a people pleaser and enabler are two different things. Relationships. You are the good one. Your friend is the bad one. If you do nothing to help her, you see what not to do. So you get better. If you change her behavior, she becomes the better person, or he. Okay. Good morning, Pat. Zen said, you enable me. I didn't drink as much until I met you. Oh. Oh my God. Of course he said JK after that, because what the fuck? All right. I think I drank more than you. Maybe I enabled you. You know, I got a lot of enabling drinking friends around me, so I can't really put it all on Zen. It's like, I think all my friends enable some kind of shit. Okay. We need healing. We're all a work in progress. All right. The fuck. If you're on IG, give me the hearts. If you're on YouTube, give me the thumbs up. I got 5 more minutes on this show before I have to close out because I have a meeting at 8:45. All right. Tor in the AFC South said, you do the work with first being honest with yourself. Johnny Leon Hill said, have you seen Swarm yet? I watched 2 episodes of Swarm and I was completely fucking confused. But I'm going to go back and revisit it because people said it's based on Beyonce and they didn't know Sanaa Lathan bit her and they did an elevator scene. And so I'm just going to go back and try to watch this shit another day when I don't have shit else to do. What did y'all think about Swarm? I heard that it got mixed reviews. People are like, what the fuck? And then other people are like, but the actress did amazing. So I'm going to go back and revisit it. I know, Johnny. My job is doing the same shit to me. They're trying to interfere with my life here with Coffee with Friends. You know what I'm saying? They are. You know, but I got to move to closure, y'all, because I got to go. But I love y'all. So you know what? We're going to continue this topic because look at Ghost. I'm so excited. I had to come over here and say it again. 2 more days. Yes, Ghost is going to be Mr. And Fancy is going to be Mrs. in 2 more days. Can y'all send me a picture? Ghost. Can y'all send me a picture so I can post it on my page and say congratulations, please? I want a picture on that day, okay? So I can see y'all in your clothes, okay? And the smiles on your faces. I need a picture. So commit to sending me a picture. Where's Interior Rue? Because, okay, Ghost, you got me? All right, because I was getting ready to start calling Debbie because the fuck, I got her number. I will call her and make sure that I get a damn picture. So congratulations to Ghost and Fancy who are going to be elevating their relationship in the next 2 days. I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. But I got to go. You know me. Love up on yourselves. This message today will stop bottling up your feelings. We're going to continue along that track tomorrow. I want to know what work can we do to avoid bottling up our feelings, because we have people like Chef U on here that says they still bottle up their feelings. We have Georgie on here who says that she needs a Coca-Cola tattoo because she bottles up her feelings. So we need to unpack what kind of work goes into releasing your feelings. What does that look like? Yes, and Obama's daughter is the writer on the show of Swarm. So I gotta go back and I gotta revisit it. Oh, she did a wedding last night. Okay. Yeah, I gotta go back and I have to revisit it. But y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the music to go out on. All right. But I will definitely be back here tomorrow and we will have a full day of bottling up your feelings. What work needs to be involved?
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Yes.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
What?
I never answer to no, man, I still go.
This is Coffee with Friends, and I'm Roy to Debo. And this is the positive thought for today is about bottling up your feelings. All right, this is a movement to healing. All right, unpacking some shit, being a better you. Hey, I know I'm trying. Okay, and with that, y'all, I'm out. Get this message.
obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief.
Hey,
They see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy.
what?
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
And you can.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
Yes.
Never ran sitting on, man, I still go.
And I don't.
Go.
Hey,
Go.
I'm out, y'all.
Go. Go.